Hello everyone, I am Shadow and today I'm going to be showing you how to get every charm in Hollow Knight. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's begin. The very first charm we are going to be collecting today is going to bring us back to the beginning of the game. If you missed this during your playthrough, it will require you to have the Mantis Claw to get back up here, but those of you first going into this game can also be obtained at the very beginning, where you go through the intro section as shown here, going over some spikes, but eventually you'll find a chest. After you hit it, it will grant you with the Fury of the Fallen charm. While traversing your way through the Forgotten Crossroads, or the Infected Crossroads depending on how late you are in the game, you will eventually find this shop, Salubra's shop. She sells you different charms and charm notches depending on how many charms you already have. Here, we're able to buy Lifeblood, Longnail, Steadybody, Shaman Stone, and Quick Focus. Our next couple of charms are going to require an item called the Shopkeeper's Key. In order to obtain this, you are going to need to go left of the Crystal Guardian boss arena in the area of the Crystal Peaks. Once you obtain this item, you are going to want to travel back to Dirtmouth and hand it over to Sly. Once you do, his entire shop is going to be open to you, in which you will now be able to purchase Gathering Swarm, Stalwart Shell, Heavy Blow, and Sprintmaster. Also in Dirtmouth, you are able to find Azelda's shop, the wife of Cornifer. Once you talk to her, you're able to purchase different map supplies, but also the charm Wayward Compass. In order to access the Ancestral Mound, you're going to need to kill the False Knight, or get through his arena by destroying the wall on the left side. But once you go through that, the Shaman is going to give you the Vengeful Spirit spell, and once you kill the Baldur in this area, you will be able to obtain the charm Soul Catcher. Our next charm is going to require us to have the Dash ability, which can be obtained by defeating Hornet in the same area of the game. I'll be going from this bench as a marker to make it easier for you to find this charm. It's a bit hard to find, but once you get there, all you need to do is make a few dashes through spikes and these fizzy guys, and the charm is going to be yours. After defeating Hornet, you do have the option of going right, which will lead you back into Greenpath, but if you decide to go left, you will end up finding a new area that has a lot of acid. Unfortunately, you can't do much here during the time of beating Hornet, but once you unlock Isma's Tear, you will be able to go through the acid, but you will also need Mantis Claw or Monarch Wings in order to get up to this area. Once you get up, you will be able to traverse down through the acid pools, and once you do, you will find a large slug, who will give you the Shape of Un charm. Our next couple of charms are actually going to be in a new area of the game called Fungal Wastes. Depending on where you go, either from the left from the Queen Station or above from the Forgotten Crossroads, you will end up finding your way to the Leg Eater. After paying the Leg Eater 86 Geo, he will open his shop to you, allowing you to buy Fragile Greed, Fragile Heart, and Fragile Strength. Going to the bottom of the Fungal Wastes, you are able to go past the Mantis village. If you do, you're able to eventually find an invisible wall of some sort, which will lead you to a statue, allowing you to collect the Dashmaster charm. Our next charm, we are going to want to head from the Queen Station. You can go directly downwards, and if you do, you're able to traverse through the ways. You will need Dash and Mantis Claw in order to get here, but once you traverse through there, all you have to do is get over the acid. Once you get over the acid in this below area, you will be able to collect the charm Spore Shroom. At the very bottom of the Mantis village, you can fight a boss called the Mantis Lords. Once they are defeated, they will grant you permission to go through the village without getting attacked or harmed by any of the other Mantis. You can then make it up to their treasury. You will be allowed in, where you can collect some Geo, but most importantly, the Mark of Pride charm. For our next charm, you will need to make your way into the Soul Sanctum, which is located in the City of Tears. Right before going into the Soul Master boss fight, you'll want to go upwards instead. You'll have to fight some blobby dudes, but you can make your way into collecting the Spell Twister charm at the very end of the room. Just for a moment, we're going to be heading back into the Greenpath. Once we do, we're going to be heading up and outward into a new area. We're going to have to traverse some spikes and some enemies, but once we do, we're going to fall downwards into a fake chest of sorts. There are going to be two Baldurs. You're going to want to kill the one on the right. Once you do, you can collect the Baldur Shell charm. In the Howling Cliffs, an area located at the top left corner of the map, can be accessed by going upwards of where the Baldur Shell charm was located, but can also be accessed by scaling the wall upwards at the very beginning of the game through a secret passageway. Both ways of getting here do require you to have the Mantis Claw, however. You will have to go past Cornifer into the Dark Grotto. Moonfly Lantern isn't required here, but it does make it a lot easier to get through here. After you traverse the area, you're gonna need to fall down the large passageway with the glowing blue butterflies. Once you do, you will be able to collect Joni's Blessing. Next, we're gonna be heading to the top right corner of the map into the Crystal Peaks. We're gonna head from the Crystal Guardian boss arena going downwards. While recording this, I got a bit worried after getting hit so many times, but it's fine. Anyways, you'll have to use a Crystal Dash over some spikes and lasers, which can be a bit tricky, so good luck. Once you make yourself all the way to the left side of this area, you will be able to collect the Deep Focus charm. Once you're able to get into the map, where the resting grounds are, you can go directly across from the hallway of the Stag Station to find and collect the Dreamshield charm. For our next charm, we will be going from the resting ground Stag Station once again. This charm, we will be needing the Dive spell. But at this point in the game, you should have Descending Dark, which is what I use here. While traversing through the underground area of the resting grounds, you will be able to find grubs and wandering journals, but if you go far enough, you will be able to find the Soul Eater charm directly at... Our next charm that we're going to be collecting is actually going to be given to us by an NPC, the Dream Wielder charm. Once you're able to collect 500 Dream Essence through Dream Trees or bosses, talk to the Seer, and they will give you this charm. Next, we are going to be heading into the City of Tears, but it's mainly to use this gate that leads us into the Royal Waterways. You will need a simple key in order to access this area, and if you take the same path I do, you will end up at the Dung Defender boss fight. Sadly, when recording this video, this part of the video ended up getting corrupted, so unfortunately I cannot show the fight. But where I am standing now is where you will be able to collect the charm after you have defeated Dung Defender. Going to the other side of the Royal Waterways, this charm will require you to fight another boss, but I believe the hardest part is just getting there. But if you follow how I do it, it should hopefully be a lot easier for you. The boss is in a hidden grotto, which I'll show in the video, and once the boss is defeated, they will give you the Flukenest charm. Back in Dirtmouth, after you have gotten trained by Oro, Mato, and Sheo, the Nailmasters, go to Sly's shop. He will give you the charm, Nailmaster's Glory, for having all of the nail arts. In the Howling Cliffs, there's a breakable wall that will allow you to activate the Grim Trope. I already broke this wall earlier, and I forgot I didn't have the Dream Nail yet, so I had to come back now. To activate the event, Dream Nail the large bug, and make sure you hit the lantern enough times for the event to begin. Head back to Dirtmouth, and once you do, a large tent will now be to the left of the town. Once you enter, you will meet a character called Grim, and he will grant you with the charm, Grimmchild. After doing his quest, you will now be able to get a stronger version of Grimmchild if you fight Nightmare King Grim, but you can also instead get the charm Carefree Melody if you choose to banish him instead. Our next charm is going to be to the right of Sheo's hut. If we go right here, there will be multiple breakable paths that we can take downwards. After some traversing through this area, we will end up at what seems to be a large sanctuary of some kind of insect, granting us the Quickslash charm. If you go upwards from the ancient basin, you will find the tram. You will need the tram pass to get here, but you want to take it to the right. There will be a breakable wall which will allow you to get to a new area called the Hive. After a bit of traversing through the Hive, there will be breakable beeswax to the right. This will take you to the Hive Knight boss fight. After beating him, you will be able to collect the Hiveblood charm. This area and boss fight here aren't going to be shown because, footage got lost again? Yeah, definitely lost. Our next charm is going to be a bit more on the tricky side to obtain, mainly because we need to have 15 Lifeblood to get into the area. The easiest way I found to do this is to get 2 additional health by collecting 8 Mask Shards, then we're going to need to wear the Fragile Heart charm, Lifeblood Heart charm, and Joni's Blessing charm. Take any stag station you can to the hidden station, and then go down to the Abyss. Once you make your way into the Lifeblood room by having 15 Lifeblood, you will have to make your way into the Lifeblood core. And no, it's not required to get hit as many times as I did, or at all as a matter of fact. While running through Deepnest, you should find a room that looks similar to this. You're going to scale upwards on the platforms and break a wall behind a brute to reveal an entrance. Normally, you would keep going into the room and traverse over some spikes, but if you have the Monarch wings like I do, you can just jump up to the charm like this. A charm I should have collected a lot earlier, but completely forgot about, is the Glowing Womb. If you go to the Forgotten Crossroads / the Infected Crossroads, you'll need to head the same way you normally would to get to False Night. But instead you're going to break a breakable ceiling and make your way into the large Aspid Arena. After killing all of the Aspids that the arena will throw at you, you will be rewarded with the Glowing Womb charm. For our next charm, we are going to be heading back to Deepnest. I'm going to be starting from the Hot Spring bench, so you'll know kind of a guide on how to get here. You're going to be heading to the right, and then pretty much straight down. Using the Shade Cloak, you will need to go through a Shade Gate, and dash through enemies. Once you get through, you will be able to obtain the Sharp Shadow charm. Now we have the Very Lord Boy. I already collected all the charms because I really wanted to show off the Chonky Grub, but once you collect 10 grubs, he will give you the Grub Song charm. And once you collect 46 grubs, he will give you the charm Grubberfly's Elegy. Once you have collected 1800 Dream Essence, which can be collected throughout Hollownest, you will need to collect the Awoken Dreamnail from the Seer. Once you do, travel your way left of the hidden station located in the Ancient Basin, and Dreamnail the White Palace Guard. Once you do so, you will need to traverse the very difficult parkour of the White Palace. Once you manage to make your way to the top, you will find the King's Throne. Once you knock him off, you will be able to collect the first piece of the King Soul charm. This cross section here is the upper section of the Queen's Gardens. You can get here by either going to the Stag Station or the entrance of the Queen's Gardens from the Fog Canyon. You will have to travel over thorny parkour to make your way to the Traitor Lord boss fight. Once you defeat them, you can go to the left of the boss arena, and you will meet an NPC named the White Lady, who will then give you the other half of the King Soul charm. For our last charm, you will be required to have the King Soul charm equipped. You will have to head into the Abyss, and once you make your way to the bottom, there will now be a part of the floor that will vanish below you. In this area, you will have to go through a maze with shades flying around attempting to kill you. But once you make it to the large arcane egg-looking object, Dreamnail it, and then take your climb back up the Abyss. Once you make it to the top, you will be granted the Void Heart. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video and thought it was helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below letting me know what your favorite part of the video was, or just any other ideas or any other help that I'd be able to assist you with. And that being said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!